Konbini is a destination. Last time I said this. The first meal is fine at a konbini. Today is what comes next. Specifically, what to eat and how to eat it. First, let me clear up a misunderstanding. Japanese convenience stores are not a last resort. They are a destination. There are over 52,000 stores nationwide. 7-Eleven has 21,681, Family Mart has 16,404, and Lawson has 14,693. That's more stores than there are towns. It's the kind of place that food writers from overseas go out of their way to eat at. Today we'll walk through a full day of eating cheaply and deliciously, from konbini to izakaya, in order. The konbini. So, what do you reach for at the shelf? Let me tell you my go-to items. First, onigiri, usually between 150 and Y210, and it's a complete breakfast on its own. The fillings are typically plum, salmon, or tuna mayo. Next, the hot snacks, by the register. Lawson's Karajikun is Y298. Family Mart has Famichiki. You get it fresh from the fryer in a paper bag and eat it while you walk. And sweets like pudding and cake are well made for the price. You'll regret it if you underestimate konbini desserts. Sandwiches, chilled udon, oden. The shelves rotate with the seasons. I often buy these 3 things and take them home for a late-night snack. There's one phrase you'll definitely be asked at the register. Atatamemasu ka? If you say yes, they'll warm up your bento in a microwave for you. They'll also give you chopsticks or a fork and spoon. It's a short phrase, but if you remember it, your shopping trips become much easier. However, there is one trap. If you eat at the in-store seating, consumption tax becomes 10%. If you take it home, it's 8%. Eating in the store is legally considered eating out. It's only a difference of a few dozen yen, but knowing this saves you from looking confused at your receipt. If asked, just say, takeaway, and you're fine. Ticket machines and the cheapest meal? The cheaper the restaurant, the more unique the ordering customs are. Once you learn them, it's simple. At cheap diners, staff don't come to take your order. Instead, there's a ticket machine at the entrance. The procedure is like this. First, you insert cash. Next, you press the button for the dish you want to eat. Take the food ticket that comes out. Hand it to the staff member at your seat. It's payment in advance. Some machines only have Japanese text with no pictures. Even so, don't panic. Looking at the button arrangement, the popular dishes are usually on the top left. If you're unsure, you won't go wrong with the top left. Even if people are lined up behind you, you won't be rushed. The cheapest warm meal you can get in Japan is gyudon. Thinly sliced beef simmered in a sweet and spicy sauce on top of white rice in a bowl. For a regular size, Sukiya is about YY450, Matsuya is YY460, and Yoshinoya is YY498. Sukiya actually lowered prices in 2025 while the other 2 raised theirs. One 500 yen coin gets you properly satisfied. When I'm pressed for time at lunch, I usually rush to one of these places. If I'm recommending ramen to beginners, I'd suggest Ichiran, about $1,000. You buy from a ticket machine at the entrance and eat at a single-person booth. It's called a taste concentration counter, a box-like seat where you can't see your neighbors. You write your preferred spice level and noodle firmness on a paper order slip and hand it to them. The staff member hands the bowl through a curtain. That's it. In other words, it's designed so you can complete an entire bowl of ramen without saying a single word. If you're nervous about language, this is the easiest place to start. There are locations in Shibuya, Shinjuku, and Dotonbori in Osaka. Conveyor sushi. Do you think sushi is expensive? If it's conveyor belt sushi, that assumption disappears. Conveyor belt sushi. Sushiro, kura sushi, Hama sushi. You order on a touch panel, and the plates you choose travel on the lane to your seat. Recently, more stores have eliminated the rotating belt and send only your ordered plates directly to you. One plate is about Y120 or so. The era of 100 yen sushi is over. The bill is calculated by stacking the plates you finished and counting them. Kura Sushi automatically counts the plates for you. The price varies by store location, so check the panel display and choose with confidence. The izakaya. When evening comes, go to an izakaya. It's like a Japanese pub. There are rules here that will confuse you if you don't know them. At an izakaya, first you order draft beer. Then you order a few small plates to share. Everyone drinks a little bit at a time for a long while. That's the way of Japanese nightlife. However, sometimes a dish you didn't order comes out. This is otoshi. It's a small side dish that doubles as a seating charge, about Y300 to Y500 per person. At most stores, you can't refuse it. Some people see it on the bill and panic thinking they didn't order it, but this is not a scam. Everyone who comes to that restaurant pays for it. Don't worry. There's also a system called Nomihodai. For 90 to 120 minutes, about Y1500 to Y2500. Most often ordered per table. And there's one more important thing, tipping is not necessary. In Japan, no one tips anywhere. Service is included in the price, and tipping actually confuses staff. The closest equivalent would be otoshi, but that's not a tip either. Even if you leave coins on the table as they clear your plate, they'll usually come running to return them. You don't need to pull out money as a tip in this country. Some nights, just one drink will do. Those nights call for tachinomi. Literally a standing bar. Since there are no seats, there's no service charge, and drinks are Y300 to Y500. Most are cash only, and you pay on the spot with each order. So you can drop in casually and leave casually. Under the overpasses in Yurakucho and Shimbashi, in the alleys of Shinjuku, bars like these line up, standing alongside salarymen on their way home from work, having one drink. That's the cheapest and most local way to drink. If you want to dive deeper into Tokyo's bar culture, go to Shinjuku's Golden Gai. Over 200 tiny bars with just a few seats crowd a narrow wooden alley. The master behind the counter and the customers next to you are close, and conversation starts right away. The assumption that Japanese people are serious and quiet is pleasantly proven wrong here. If you're stuck for conversation, open the translation app on your smartphone. However, many shops charge Y500 to Y1,500 per person for otoshi or a seating charge, so confirm the price before entering. Photography is basically prohibited, and it's customary to come alone or in pairs. And there's a word you should remember if you want to get drunk cheaply. Senbero. It means getting blissfully drunk on 1,000 yen. Usually 2 or 3 drinks and one snack, about $1,000. In dollars, that's roughly $6 to $7. Recently, prices have gone up, and some places are around Y1,500 now, but it's still plenty cheap. There are several neighborhoods called sacred sites. Akabane, where you can drink from daytime. Ueno and Otsuka, where the grilled offal under the overpass is delicious. Shimbashi, where salarymen heading home from work gather. Kita Senju, untouched by tourism. All of them are just outside the station. Practical know-how. Finally, 2 practical points that work in the real world: money and etiquette. Japan is moving toward cashless payments, about 46% as of 2025. However, there is uneven distribution. At chain stores and konbini, Suica and PayPay generally work. On the other hand, small ramen shops, standing soba places, old ticket machines. They're often cash only. In other words, you still regularly encounter situations where, even though it's the city, cards don't work. So carry a little cash with you. A few 1,000 yen bills and some coins are enough. This alone saves you from having to pass on a restaurant you wanted to try. Etiquette tips that are good to know altogether. Water and tea are free and usually self-service. Oshibori at your seat is for wiping your hands, not your face. Slurping noodles is welcomed here. Go ahead without hesitation. And one thing to note, dashi is made from fish like bonito flakes or dried sardines, and it's in miso soup, noodle broth, and almost every other dish. So strict vegetarians, vegans, and those keeping halal find Japan genuinely difficult. It's reassuring to have one allergy card written in Japanese on your smartphone. 3 words. Thank you for sticking with me this far. Let me wrap up today with 3 words that are all you need to get through. Sumimasen, excuse me. When calling for staff, kore kudasai, I'll have this. When pointing at the menu, gochisu-sama, thank you for the meal. When you're done eating. With these 3 words and 1 finger, you can handle most restaurants, konbini, gyudon, conveyor belt sushi. Eating this way, your daily food expenses come to about Y1500 to Y2500. Cheap, simple, and genuinely delicious. You can use the savings for a nice place to stay. Next time, I'll talk about how to choose accommodations, the differences between hotels, ryokan, and capsules. See you in the next video.